Howdy kids, it's me, Bob Harris, Senior Editor of FootballDiehards.com, here for your Week 3 injury review, preview, update, overview thing that we love doing every Saturday to get you up to speed on all the injuries. We'll run through them in chronological order to kind of help you figure out the options you need or that you have to cover for the guys who are questionable or who have already been ruled out. So let's get started with Aaron Rodgers. For the Green Bay Packers, expected to practice today, listed as questionable. Seems like the same drill as last week. Expect them to make the trip to Washington, watch the headline news section for any developments there after I record this video. But expect him to play and expect them to continue to game plan and work on ways to make this offense more effective with his limited mobility, especially focusing on more better work in the red zone. Aaron Jones returns this week. He's apparently going to be behind Jamal Williams and Ty Montgomery to start out, but a player to keep on your radar. Paul Richardson on the other side of the ball, listed as questionable with shoulder and knee issues. Seems like he'll play. The Redskins say they want to get deeper. He's their speed threat. But so far, it's been Alex Smith locked in on Chris Thompson, Jordan Reed, Jamison Crowder, and that works for fantasy purposes. Marcus Mariota, the Tennessee Titans heading to Jacksonville to face a tough Jaguars defense. We don't know about Mariota. Same boat as last week. Seems like he's done a little more work this week. Has the right elbow issue causing him problems gripping the football in his throwing hand. So Blaine Gabbert will be standing by to go up against the team that drafted him if need be. Interesting, Jalen Ramsey for the Jaguars listed as questionable with an ankle issue. Sounds like he'll play, but maybe at less than full speed. AJ Boye is still pretty good. They're still pretty good on defense no matter what. So watch that one. Derrick Henry removed from the injury report for the Titans. Had a back issue earlier in the week. On the other side of the ball, Leonard Fournette listed as questionable with the same hamstring issue that sidelined him last week. I expect him to play. You'll need to watch in the 90 minutes leading up to kickoff to verify that. TJ Yeldon has an ankle issue. Seems like he's in worse shape than Fournette. Fournette said he feels much better this week, and it sounds, all indications are he'll play. And we're hoping for the best, but maybe we'll see a little more Corey Grant again this week. He gave him a little something in the passing attack last week. Big game, Philadelphia hosting Indianapolis. This one's going to be tough. A lot of bodies out of this one. Corey Clement is going to start at running back. He's listed as questionable, however, with a quad injury. Tom Pelissero on NFL Network reporting this morning it was just a precaution because Jay Ajayi is out. Darren Sproles is out. Alshon Jeffrey is questionable, not expected to play. Carson Wentz makes his return. You wonder if they're not going to go run heavy or want to go run heavy in this one to take a little pressure off Wentz. So if Corey Clement is playing, you want to be playing him. I'll have his status in the 90 minutes leading up to kickoff. Wendell Smallwood is the fallback there. If Clement struggles or suffers a setback, don't expect him to, but it's something we need to watch heading into kickoff. The other side of the ball, Marlon Mack's been ruled out. Jack Doyle will miss the second game of his career, also ruled out. Mack with foot and hamstring, Doyle with a hip injury. Eric Ebron, clearer path to workload. He scored in each of the first two games. Jordan Wilkins, the likely starter at tailback. Naheem Hines, fellow rookie, also in the mix. The Buffalo Bills head to Minnesota. Dalvin Cook in line for a big day if he was going to play, but he is not. Dalvin Cook has been ruled out with the hamstring issue. They called it cramps last week. Apparently it's a little more. Maybe they don't feel the need to pressure him into the lineup, and they're taking a cautious approach with him given the matchup. It's not tough, the Bills. They haven't been playing well. You'll be surprised to learn. So Latavius Murray gets to start against that Buffalo defense. It's been pretty generous to running backs and to the offenses in general. The other side of the ball with Sean McCoy going up against a very tough Vikings defense, listed as questionable with a rib issue. You'll want to watch for his active status in the 90 minutes leading up to kickoff. But either way, you have to worry a little bit. It's a rib issue. Can he take the hits? Probably get a pain-killing injection if he does play. Chris Ivory and Marcus Murphy will be standing by if needed. Kelvin Benjamin was on the injury report early in the week. He was removed on Friday, so good to go there. Don't think I'd have a lot of expectations on that, though, as Josh Allen faces a very tough defense with his Buffalo offense. Marquise Goodwin for the 49ers missed last week's game with a quad injury, listed as questionable this week. Sounds like a true game-time decision. They'd really like to get him in the mix with his speed going against the Kansas City Chiefs, who have a pretty explosive offense, maybe playing a little catch-up for Jimmy Garoppolo, Matt Breida, and the boys there. So it'll be helpful if they have Marquise Goodwin back. That will be an early kickoff again, so we'll know in the 90 minutes before if Marquise Goodwin is good to go. Spencer Ware on the other side of the ball turned up as questionable. Just to back up, Kareem Hunt will get the start. Maybe a good game for Kareem Hunt. Everyone's had their turn, right? It's been Tyreek Hill. It's been Kelsey. It was Sammy Watkins had some run last week as well, so Pat Mahomes makes everything better. Let's see if he can make Kareem Hunt better. Beyond that, Devontae Freeman ruled out for the Falcons. Julio Jones was on the injury report early in the week. He was removed on Friday, had some calf tightness. Sounds like he's good to go. in a huge divisional game against the Saints. The other side of the ball, Ted Ginn removed from the injury report as well. Could be the week we see Cam Meredith. He's getting closer either way. Don't know that I'd be shoehorning him into any lineups, but you never know. At some point, could be useful. With Freeman out, by the way, Coleman, of course, Tevin Coleman will continue to start against the New Orleans Saints. The Carolina Panthers hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals will be without Joe Mixon this week, probably next week, maybe a week or two after that. We're not sure yet. Had the surgery on his meniscus last Saturday. Giovanni Bernard is the starter. He'll be backed up by Mark Walton. They also signed Thomas Rawls, but Gio is the primary guy there. He had a little knee issue early in the week, seems to have cleared up. They removed him from the injury report Friday. The other side of the ball, Greg Olsen out, Curtis Samuel out, Demir Bird hasn't been playing much, but Olsen is working on the side. Looks like he will be, maybe a midseason return isn't out of the question for him. Ian Thomas will continue to start in tight end in his place. Late afternoon kickoffs. Arizona Cardinals offense has not been good. Sam Bradford has not been good. David Johnson struggling because of it. Larry Fitzgerald struggling because of it. Fitzgerald goes into this game listed as questionable against a very tough Bears defense. Khalil Mack in that pass rush getting the job done. Bradford fairly immobile. We'll see if Fitzgerald is active to help him. I suspect he will be. Cardinals have talked about simplifying the offense. They're working hard to get things on track. But again, this is a very tough matchup. Jermaine Gresham also listed as questionable. His return maybe help as a blocker if he can get back in there. But either way, I'll have the Fitzgerald status in the 90 minutes leading up to the late afternoon kickoff. So you'll need to have fallback plans in place there if you want to go with Fitzgerald. Could this be the week we see Josh Rosen? Were the Cardinals watching Thursday night when Baker Mayfield came off the bench and lit a fire under the Browns and led them to a comeback win? And we'll see tomorrow against the Chicago Bears. Cole Beasley for the Dallas Cowboys listed as questionable, turned up with an ankle injury this week. He's been kind of a reliable PPR guy, Dak Prescott's most trusted target. We'll see if he plays against the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. Doug Baldwin on the other side of the ball has been ruled out. Tyler Lockett, Brandon Marshall, Will Dissly will be the guys. Russell Wilson had a little hamstring issue early in the week. He was removed from the injury report late in the week. And the Rams against the Raiders, big game there. Pretty much everyone healthy. Antonio Gates is listed as questionable, had illness. He hasn't really been a factor anyway. Travis Benjamin also questionable with a foot injury. He's not been a factor either. So I focus on the main guy. Sounds like a heavy dose of Melvin Gordon and Austin Eckler for the Chargers, no matter what. And of course, the Rams, they have Todd Gurley leading the way, and whether it's Brandon Cooks, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, all getting it done. Got the tight end in the mix last week. Sunday night game. Marvin Jones listed as questionable. Turned up on Friday with an ankle issue. That's one to watch. Sunday night kickoff. You need a fallback in place. They're going up against the New England Patriots. It's in Detroit, so maybe that helps out and get a little more treatment. Don't have to travel for Jones. That could be helpful. Josh Gordon is listed as questionable. The newly minted New England Patriots traded on Monday from the Cleveland Browns. He's been limited all week in practice with the same hamstring issue that's been bugging him since he turned back up in Cleveland. We'll see if he's ready to contribute. I wouldn't be shoehorning him into any lineups in hopes of a big game. It could happen, but boy, banking on it on a Sunday night seems tough. Rob Gronkowski had a little ankle issue during the week. He was removed from the injury report Friday. And other good news, Sony Michel no longer on the injury report. So seems like he's worked his way through that knee injury. Got some run last week. Outsnapped Rex Burkhead last week, although James White outsnapped them both. Ongoing thing there. Monday night, Chris Godwin listed, not yet, no injury designation yet. He's been limited. He may be questionable. Greg Allman from The Athletic reports that he looked good in practice. He's got a toe issue, so you'll want to watch that one. I'll have more on that on the website leading up to kickoff throughout the day today, tomorrow. Check the headline news section. Tons of information there. Also, tons of articles, as always. Jen Ryan's target snaps and scoring, her Excel file. That thing is a weekly behemoth that I can't live without. Has all the daily information, the Vegas information, everything you need to help you set your lineups or set your daily lineups. John Lobb's work, Armando Marsal, Gary Davenport, Bobby Gomez, Justin Lanero, David Hunter, JJ Buck. We've got Matthew Sharon. We've got everything up on the site. I'll have news up ongoing through tomorrow's kickoffs. In addition, you can catch me on the SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio pregame show tomorrow. You can catch me on SiriusXM NFL Radio Saturday night, 8 to 11 and more on the Football Diehard show. We also have Bobby Gomez and Armando Marsal doing the live videos in the hour leading up to kickoff, talking DFS lineups and anything else you want to talk about. I'll have news ongoing. We'll have these inactives. Check it out. We'll be here for you. Good luck this week. Let's kick ass and take names, everybody.